says a lot of things, it's not an excuse for him to continue to say rubbish. That's
She went
valid.
all out on Wizkid at once. Everybody knows that Wizkid is very petty.
In my opinion, I think Wizkid's character is very questionable.
But you're not sure, you know.
I stopped becoming.
Hey Twitterverse, universe, all the verses. Welcome to What? And no, I'm not talking about the card games. I'm talking about what's happening on Twitter, on HO3, where we give you the funniest, juiciest topics off of where? Obasanjo's internet. Yeah, I know. What's the question? Why do we call it Obasanjo's internet? I care to answer?
Honestly, yeah. I feel like it was maybe because it was during Obasanjo's
reign, like when it was,
that was when the internet started. But I feel like it's just a fun way to say this wild space we all share.
Yeah, like instead of referring to it as Nigerians were like that. Instead of, we don't like basics. We don't like simple things. I mean, I recently saw a tweet about the different things that have trended at every month of the year. Like one thing or another. Nigerians always find something. Milky donuts to different trends. I can't even remember them. But yeah, that's the way Nigerians operate. So I get it. But big shout out to OBJ for, ushering the internet and allowing us to get that quip. Because we can't be boring. Anyway, this is the place where we spill the tea. My name is Naomi, and with me I have my co-host,
Ayomide.
Yes, exactly. So Ewa and I are going to be giving you guys the tea, the hottest topics of the week, and obviously what people had to say about them, because Nigerians, we never keep our mouths shut. So yeah, let's get into it. We'll be starting with this very viral tweet. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it, but we'll still talk about it anyway. It's going to be the tweet from Fine Smiles. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, because this drama was so funny. When I read it, I was like, yes, you did the right thing. And I am going to read an excerpt from the tweet. Yeah, so Fine Smiles says, I'm heading out to go and show someone shege this evening. A big sister of mine relocated to Lagos, and since I'm here, I had to assist with quite a few things, from accommodation to buying of needed things in the apartment. We bought a big generator last week, and the generator carried both the fridge and air conditioner comfortably, only to discover 5 days after purchase that the generator can no longer carry her fridge or air conditioner. When she complained, she said she wants to go and return it to where she got it. I started laughing because I know she doesn't know what's going on. I have gotten my tools for mass destruction, and the neighbors who tapped a light are about to hear exploding sounds today. My own is to turn on the gen and increase it, and everywhere we set with bag, and I will turn it off and we will stroll out to go have some drinks. Some neighbors are very evil. They must know the calm sister has a petty sister that can match their energy. In this era of T-Pain, you get a tap person, light and generator and have the guts to use fridge. Wish me luck. Of course, the whole of the internet wished her luck, because what is that wickedness? But moving on, then she gave us an update. She said, we turned on the generator and 2 houses in the compound had light. Landlord and 1 tenant. Landlord, the person you're paying rent to.
It's the audacity for me. I'm never going to
Bruh, like that's just insane. Immediately the load came on the generator, the sound became different. So they did a video recording as evidence, because people would obviously want to deny the landlord. How dare you say that? I gave you house. Exactly. I gave you house and you're saying I'm tapping your lights, obviously. So they recorded it and they even used a tripod. This lady had time, and that's really good.
Planned.
She had time. So I increased the generator and all we could hear was blasting of bulbs and a loud spark from the 2 houses, and we turned off the generator and acted like we do not hear anything.
Nothing happened, no.
So the tenants and the landlord's son came out, but they could not say anything. Now this I'm seeing landlord's son, it means that there's even a very high probability that the landlord is not aware, but I doubt.
I don't think something like that will happen, and you don't know.
Exactly.
Your gen is not on. There's no lights. Why do you have lights
in your house? Then there's also the question, like maybe at the beginning he wasn't even in support of it, but the son inspired him and said, see, it's not a bad thing.
I don't think so. It's an adult. Why would your child be the one to influence you at the end of the day?
Actually, facts. So they could not say anything. They went back into the tenant's house and blah, blah, blah. So her sister was surprised because, anyway, she said, our own is just stage 1. And this is where stage 2 is coming in, basically.
Okay.
So she gave us an update. She said that they called for a I don't want to read the whole thing because it's a lot. And obviously, with the internet people, we're always glued to this kind of gist. So we followed up. Me, I saw it the previous day. The next day, I went to our page to go and check what's the update. Give us the update. So basically, they sent her sister a text message to say, we have meeting the compound, like everybody, all the tenants, we're going to have a meeting. So she decided that she's going to also be present for that meeting. So they got an electrician. She got an electrician, and they got an electrician to trace the wiring to see how they tapped the whole thing. And obviously, at that point, there was nothing they could do. They could not deny it. So they not even found out that they didn't just tap the generator. They tapped NEPA. Like, they connected.
Please tell me she's not using prepaid.
I don't even know if she's using prepaid. She said that that's exactly what chased the person that was the previous tenant there away, because the bills were always a lot, and they'll be wondering, what are we using?
No, I think the landlord knows about it.
Exactly, actually, he does, because you tap not just Geno.
That's pure wickedness.
Actual light. So they are carrying the entire compound. That's cruel. That's I don't know why people keep doing this thing. Later we say, our government. I always tell people this. The problem starts from us.
What is the government?
With the grassroots.
Are we not even the government?
Literally.
So I mean,
we put people in power, but even before then, before these people came or went into power, they were regular people.
Yeah.
And they've been doing these things. They've been carrying shortcuts, passing shortcuts like every other day. So, I mean, it's not. It's
a normal thing, yeah.
That's one reason that I respect my parents so much, because in all their time as landlords, they sacrifice a lot for their tenants. Like, I see my parents, and sometimes I'm like, other landlords are not doing this.
But everybody cannot even be like that. Everybody cannot be nice. Everybody cannot be kind.
But at least they should try.
I feel like that's the rule of life, actually. Some people will be good and some people will be bad.
So now my last question for this, before we move on to the next gist, is, would you say that what the lady did to the people that were tapping their lights, was it too much?
Too much. Did you say too much?
Yes, nah.
No, I don't think you said too much.
I gotta ask, because obviously some people be like,
that's not even enough.
You could have just called them.
No. That's not even enough. Yeah.
You're supposed to carry them, go and let them just.
After increasing the gen, and everything, I want to call the police again.
Exactly.
And you arrest them. That's like the best thing that can happen.
Literally, so, they were now saying that, it's not just it's not just bulbs and all these things that burn. Or that
whose business is that one? Why did you tap my generator in the first place?
Exactly.
You did it on purpose, so you suffer for it. Now, what's my own?
Exactly. You should pay.
Do I look like I even care about something like that?
Facts. Okay. And this is not I mean, as much as that's why I referenced my parents just now.
Yeah.
As much as there are Nigerians that show people shaggy, we have Nigerians that do really, really well. We have Nigerians that are nice. That's why even with all the reports of 20 Nigerians arrested for fraud, something in one country somewhere, people still love Nigerians. People actually still love Nigerians. You still hear a lot of people say, my Nigerian neighbor is like the best, or my Nigerian roommate is the best roommate I've ever had, blah, 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 blah. So I think that as much as we critique ourselves, because then there's a lot of bad, we should also give ourselves credit, because then there's a lot of us that are still kind. Nigerians can be very welcoming, although some people will have some tribal things to say about that. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking about some tribes that you think are very wicked. Yes, I'm talking to you. Anyway, I think there's still a lot of us that are intentional about making sure that we spread light and we spread as much joy as we can while we talk about the truth. And that brings us to this tweet. Still Not Zora said, imagine you get a professor or CAFO on your syllabus and you show up to class and she's white. And the UK really got thousands of white women walking around with Nigerian last names via marriage. Obviously, that brings many questions, and it still takes us to what's currently happening in Nigeria. So many people are relocating. Every year we say many people are relocating,
that's
but
like
the next year...
That's the new trend right now.
Yeah, excuse me. The next year, more people relocate. So, what do you think about that?
Honestly, I feel like this is something that everybody sees as a normal thing. When you meet somebody you've not seen in a long time, person says, you're still in Nigeria. Why? Why are you asking me why I'm still in Nigeria? I don't understand. My fatherland? Do you get? So I feel like if you've not relocated and you're still in this Nigeria, they feel like, you're definitely going through a lot and you don't deserve to be here. But why would you say I don't deserve to be here? This is literally, do you get what I mean? So it's just a lot. I mean, is a lot. Speaks on how or what the government has made the outsiders or even ourselves, to see Nigeria as, and that's extremely bad. Extremely bad.
And then there's also the fact that at least when many Nigerians migrate, they end up doing really well. Not all of them, but a lot of them end up doing really well. So it's like a greener pastures type of thing.
But then it takes time.
It does take time. It does take time. Very, very valid. Now, before we delve into this next topic, this one it's a big one. It's a very important topic. So before we delve into it, we're going to take a short break. And during this break, we're bringing to your screens rapid fire hot takes. I'm going to be giving some, and you're going to be hearing some, feedback. Then when we come back, we're going to delve into this topic and round up today's episode. So stay tuned.
But you're not sure,
I stopped becoming.
This is rapid fire hot takes. One word or one sentence reactions to viral topics or tweets. There might be room for shalaye, so let's hear their takes. Okay, first up, the latest celebrity Twitter beef, and that is between Very Dark Man choosing to call Bobrisky out. What's your take?
Valid.
Invalid. Why is that valid?
Why is it not valid? Anything Very Dark Man says is valid.
It's invalid though.
Bro, no.
Invalid.
Why? Give us, you cannot be, what's the shalaye behind it?
There's no.
I don't like Very Dark Man.
That's it.
I don't like his words.
You have to be so objective about this thing.
His approach is wrong.
DSTV is trending because it seems many people have been boycotting them for various reasons. Okay. What do you think?
That's good.
DSTV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. DSTV, GoTV, all of them.
Their subscription is like literally expensive and they don't show anything reasonable on it. So why do I have to pay?
See, one thing is that, okay, valid too.
You do even watch DSTV. It's like
that's what I'm just trying to say that I don't care.
Exactly, you don't watch TV. So why is their subscription that expensive? Let's stick to Netflix, I beg, or Amazon Prime Video, or whatever thing is called.
But those ones are equally expensive.
But at least you have
Wait, did you say Netflix is not...
But you have series of movies you can watch on those things.
Netflix is not expensive now. A month is just an amount of money, and it is when I enter, you will eat my data. Exactly. If I don't enter, you don't call my data. So, DSTV, you pay a whole month, and you watch, you know watch. And one year has gone. Wait, do you realize that BB Naija this season didn't even trend at all?
People are going through a lot.
No, do you think that's the case?
There are other pressing matters right now that people don't even really care about Big Brother Naija going on or not.
So hot take, #mermaid. Viral video of a supposed mermaid at the beach.
Why did you not talk at me inside the suit?
But do you got that on mermaid?
That's not a mermaid.
So let me say the hot take.
That's a fat maid.
But the shaming is not allowed here, please.
I don't care. It's your what's called body structure. It's a fat maid, mermaid. How you see mermaid in the beach? You need to butcher that fat maid. Oh, sorry, I mean mermaid.
The truth is, she actually wore a costume, yeah.
How do you know it's a she?
She's a she now. Did you not see?
Okay, you already confirmed the gender. It's a mermaid, remember? Sorry, fat maid, remember?
I'm stopped by comment.
All right, that was fun. We're going to get back into this with something that is heavier, like I said before we went on the break. Now, this next topic is a big one, AY. There's been an ongoing conversation about whether men put women down in how they speak to them on Twitter and even all over the internet, right? Mm-hmm. This blew up after a particular post went viral from some women that I think own the podcast space in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. They had a conversation, and then obviously people will talk. When people say that kind of thing, they'll talk. And misogyny is a big problem.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna watch that clip, and then I want to hear your take about it. Let's go.
Men are not falling in love
They're
anymore.
not. And this morning we listened to John Legend this time. And we were both like, it was actually really weird because we didn't both realize we really liked that song. And we both heard it from the film. We're like, oh my God, we're obsessed with this song. And you listen to the lyrics, I was like, look at this man that
People don't use it like that anymore.
Everyone is shy.
Like, everywhere, it's full of cringe. But I'm like, I need real love.
But you
need to make a serious comeback.
But this is why Afrobeats was up for a long time. Yeah. Because Afrobeats male musicians, they'd be like, I'll die for you. I love you. I'll give you all my money in my crown. Please take me. Yeah. They're the most beautiful woman, and I love you.
Like real lover boys and lover girls are going out, and I don't like all this gameplay. I'm like,
it's all gameplay.
Bring back the lovers.
Do you know what it is?
That's
It's because the reason why there's a decline in lovers is that people don't want to do anything with risk anymore, and you actually have to do things knowing that like it might fail.
Have to go
it's actually okay that it might fail.
Exactly.
Even on YouTube. So listening to the episode, and it was a girl saying that she had told her partner she loved him, and he hadn't said he loved her back. And you were like, how can you tell a guy you love him first? Blah, 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 blah. That's ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Okay, it's ridiculous. That girl can have cardiac. Thank you.
But she's now complaining.
Thank you. What I want to say is that your advice can make people have cardiac arrest.
No. It's ridiculous that she said it. No, it's ridiculous that she said it, expecting it to be said back. If you just feel it, just say it without an expectation of hearing it back.
Hey!
How do we get the yearn without the risk?
No.
See, I feel like this. I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, we just watched that. The video is a lot longer, but you could go look it up yourself. It's a pretty interesting watch, in my opinion. Before we get into the details of this video in itself, what's your take as to how men respond to when women put out their opinions on Twitter?
Now, it's not even only about Twitter here or the internet, even generally in life. I feel like there are a lot of men out there that they don't... When they say a lady trying to express herself, they wouldn't allow that because they have this ego that there's nothing you want to say. I would always have this edge over you. And for the longest time, I'm this type of person that I have low self-esteem when it comes to putting my opinion out. Because I feel like, or maybe in a relationship or in a friendship or something, I always feel like whatever thing I say at that point in time might be misunderstood.
Yeah, or it would seen as invalid.
And it will make me feel like, what are you saying?
Yes,
who are
exactly.
You're just a lady. Do you get that kind of thing? So for the longest time, I had low self-esteem for something like that. But later, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Wake up from your slumber.
You know, type of person. I always say what's on my mind, regardless of how you feel. I would always tell you. You can be a man. I don't care. You are a man, and so I would still put out my opinions out and all of that. But it has been a serious problem since, not even now. It started way long before, because
it's a long-standing issue.
Do you know I feel like it's a big problem in marriages a lot, that you see people being abused. Why can't you speak up? Why can't you leave? But they'll be like, if I talk, it will beat me the more.
Ask for help. But I think it boils down to how men and women see each other. So this is not about gender. This is about human respect. People need to learn. That's why everybody around me knows. You cannot come around me and come and say, oh, women are like this, or women like to beg.
Let's be honest. Yeah.
What?
I feel like it goes both ways.
That's what I'm just about to say. You cannot come and tell me, oh, women are like this. I think women are cheap, or women are vain, and they're always looking to steal my money. Well, I think men are always looking to steal my body. Because then it's not about what gender is doing what right. Both people, they are human beings first before they are men and they are women.
Yeah.
And people need to learn to see that as a thing first. You're human beings first. You need to see that before you can come out and say, oh, anybody is in the wrong. You might actually be in the wrong. So the first step that the world would actually take to get to a better place is realizing that this is not a battle of genders. We're all human beings, and we're all supposed to try and do it right. We're supposed to try and get it right.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
I know that statistics can say, oh, men cheat, 60% of men cheat, or 80% of women cheat in relationships, or they did one DNA test, something, and it was women. All that one is trash, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that these researches are not valid. I'm saying that at the end of the day, it all boils down to a human being trying to do it right. A human being staying faithful in a relationship. Man trying not to hit learning that it is foolishness to hit a woman. You understand? That's my point. Vice versa. A woman not thinking that, oh, she can beat her husband, or she can cheat on her husband. Her husband is not giving her money after all. No. Exactly. At the end of the day, we all need to be better people as human beings first. That's
and
where
respect also.
Yes, and respect.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we're to bring it back to this video that we just watched. Yeah. What these women were asking for was simple. I want soft love. Too much. Yes. Yeah. I want the kind of love where I feel like, this man, she cannot doing too much.
Disney princess kind of love.
Yes. And I don't think there is anything wrong with that. Wait, let me even show you why this particular video went viral, apart from what they said. This guy, I cannot pronounce his name, Mrs. Shaka Babu, said, I'm not sitting down to, let me even mimic a male voice. I'm not sitting down to watch 4 women behind the microphone speak about anything that's not about cooking or cleaning. Like, that's a smelly.
Oh, really?
Smelly.
So, in his opinion, the only thing women should talk about is, how we'll cook or clean our husband's house.
Do you know the funny thing? This guy, realistically, he might not think like this. So, it might be one of those people that says things that he knows will intentionally provoke people to talk.
So he will trend.
Now, the problem is you are putting this kind of junk out on the internet. There are so many people that are impressionable that are saying this thing and are saying, yes, I agree. I'm not going to sit down and watch it. Like,
I feel like there are some people that they think everything a lady should do should be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or in the house. You don't have any right to complain about how I love you.
Yeah.
You don't have any right to complain about how I treat you. And that's extremely wrong.
Like,
if we're going to be in a relationship or be married to each other, my opinions about a whole lot of things matter.
Mm-hmm.
How you treat me matters.
Yeah.
The way, I don't know, what would I... Oh my God.
Let me read some of the responses, like the
comments
tweet.
here?
Yeah. Okay. Someone said, it's always been evident you don't like women, but today's one is the height of it. Please change, Mr. Shakababu.
So for what you have said is evidence, which means this
this is not the first time. I mean, this is
so I don't think he's
obviously
doing
not
it for trend. Maybe that's how he thinks.
Yeah, he's probably a misogynist. You know this Andrew Tate's guy?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God. Sometimes I wish I could just, you know this thing African parents do where they squeeze your ear when you say something or you do something, and when they know that you have been a naughty boy and they squeeze. Sometimes I wish I could just do it for him.
Sometimes you can't blame people like that. You know why? Upbringing matters a lot.
I know. I get that. Certain things affected their mentality. But then when the beginning of change is when you see that there's a problem. So he doesn't even see the way that he thinks as a problem. And then he also has other young men that are validating what he says. Saying, yes, you speak for the men.
That's why he would never see a problem.
Someone said, this is screaming toxic masculinity. Very dangerous misogynistic take. I'm literally shaking right now. Another person said, why aren't they in the kitchen? This is Groove Papi. I'll mention his name. Why aren't they in the kitchen? So the women in the podcast, they should be in the kitchen cooking for seek help. And someone said, well, if you look at it critically, that's a woman's thing. And is this verified accounts? These people that have people that are following them, they are the ones that are saying this nonsense.
With these women talking about how they want to be loved. That's crazy, honestly. That's very, very crazy.
It's not just about how they want to be loved. It's literally in everything. A woman speaks up. I saw a video, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Okay, yeah.
She said, when a woman speaks, when a guy is playing some moves, they'll say, oh, he's strategic. But if it's a woman, they'll say she's manipulative. If a man is like airing his opinion, I don't think she said something like that, but in my opinion, if a man is airing his opinion, yes, he knows what he's saying. I need a word. He's somebody that Isha knows himself. He knows his stuff. Okay. If it's a woman that is putting it out there, oh, she's talking too much. She's being this thing. She's doing too much.
The person is now made.
In the workforce, especially, it happens so much. It happens so much. And it's just really unfortunate that we are in a society where nobody wants to take a step back and be the one to say, oh, maybe I'm wrong here. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to be valid. Everybody wants it to be that their opinion is what is correct. And it's just really, really unfortunate. And it's worse because we have mothers, women that even encourage these things. Growing up, I had women, oh, you talk too much. I had people that went to tell my mother and my older sister that this is your daughter. You should watch her. Watch how she's doing. Why? Because I'm an extra person. Because I want to be everywhere. I want to do everything.
I'm not surprised.
I had people that they went to tell my mother, like, to advise my mother on how to raise me. Right? Advise my sister to watch out for, because in their opinion, I'm too spray.
Even though me, when I was growing up, I was a very quiet person. Okay. Quiet and reserved. But people will still complain. But like, you need to speak for yourself. They will ride you. Now I'm speaking for myself, and people they have issues with the way I speak
for yourself.
I would have just been quiet on my own. People forced me to be outspoken, and now you're complaining.
There is really no room to be quiet. We need to speak. And you know, while I said that everybody has to try and be better people, at the end of the day, we know that patriarchy, misogyny, these things have ruled our world for so long that that's why women are screaming every day. That's why every day you see one new girl says, I am a feminist. It's not because she wants to follow one movement, nonsense. No, it's because so many times her voice has been stamped down. So many times she has to go the extra mile to get to a point that a man would take a step to. And this is not saying that some men are not trying. I've seen men that are looking out for women and they want women to do well, but the percentage is so low. I know that there are some women that it's misandry they are practicing, not feminism. Their own is too much. But the true feminists, the people that really, really want a voice for women, it's very valid. It's very valid. We see these things play out in marriages. We see these things play out in our society. We see these things play out in our workforce. But yeah, this is just a heavy conversation that we need to constantly have. We cannot talk about it today and not talk about it tomorrow. We need to keep going and going and going, and we need to keep talking about it until we actually see that these changes are becoming more and more visible. Because every day I think we are one step closer to getting it. But sometimes it's like we take 5 steps backwards. Now we're going to wrap up now. Okay. With this is one of the hottest things on the internet from the week. This guy, I know you know him, very dark man, came out and called Mr. Bob or mommy, Mrs. Bob, mommy of Lagos. Mommy of Lagos. Mommy of Lagos. Came out to call him out on and brought like a recorded call evidence. Okay, that he paid EFCC. She paid 15 million to EFCC. I call him he, so you can call him she. No problem. I will say she. Yeah. So that he paid 15 million naira to EFCC to clear the money laundering allegations against him, right? So which is why when he was jailed, he went to prison for spraying, that's naira abuse, instead of naira abuse and money laundering. And I'm guessing that, of course, if the money laundering was added to it, he would have spent a longer time and blah, blah, blah. So they said he paid 15 million naira. Now, I'm not even going to get into that voice note. We would play the voice note for you to listen to, just a part of it. Not the voice note, the recorded call. We'll play for you to listen to a part of it.
In a Chevron, blah, 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 blah. The Shah put the money laundry Shah. They charged me to court. So when they charged me to court, we had to beg them that, okay, if they want to remove the money laundering, how much would they collect? They said we should go and bring 15 million that they will remove the money laundering.
From the beginning of the video, what did he say? He said, this video is going to call out many, many people that I looked up to, and blah, 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 blah. And he mentioned different people. The one that stood out for me the most, obviously, was Falz and his dad. And he called them out and said, towards the end of his, towards when he was getting closer to when he was supposed to be released, Bobrisky spoke to Falz, and Falz was like saying that, okay, he would reach out to his dad so that they can help him, I think, shorten the term, like maybe good behavior or something like that. Now, very dark man saying, I can't believe Falano is involved in this. I'm very disappointed. Don't worry. They're gonna show you this thing, a little bit of it by themselves, so that you're gonna see it by yourself. Because I can't even go into the shalaye. But here is my take. I think very dark man is too impulsive. I don't like his guts. I mean, sometimes you say that we need people like this because then we need to speak up. But change your approach.
You know when you just started, yeah. Funny how I actually did like him. Yeah. I liked his approach at first. That he was calling people out on their shit. But he got really toxic at some point in time. I'm like, calm down. It's not even this serious. Neither is it this hard. You don't have to start involving a whole lot of things in this situation. Call these people out and let it die there. Let it end there.
This Bobrisky zone is so obvious that it's because of his beef with Bobrisky.
Because I think Bobrisky came out he dropped a disclaimer and he was like, he served his term. And there was no payment, whatsoever, and everything that he actually did serve his term.
Even if anything shady happened, if you want to bring justice in quotes, I feel like there are better ways to approach this. Apart from that, even called him out for 4 million naira debt that Bobrisky was allegedly owing a person, and then also showed proof that Bobrisky paid the person the debt. And that's fine. I really do not care about that. I just think that you calling Bobrisky out because of your personal beef, okay, no problem. We've accepted that is very dark man behavior. But then you now choosing to drag files at Falano and trying to make
I feel
them
like they're
look
just
like
doing
bad.
their work. Lawyers would always
It's
find a way to
normal.
support you.
It's normal.
To reduce your
To
it's a
reduce your
normal thing. That
sentence.
is what they are trained for. So
Exactly. So if you have access to these lawyers, if you have access to them, they would always, it's not the first time that a person would be in jail, and they would always want to look for. That's why there are things like parole. I've not really heard of parole in Nigeria, like in the Nigerian prison system, but I know that in many abroadian countries, they do parole. There's like allowance for parole. So say you were sentenced to 10 years imprisonment, you can apply for parole so that you come out earlier. Right, so you have
I think
your
that's what you do, the community service.
Yes, and they can release you based on good behavior. So these things happen like everywhere. Trying to make Falana look like a bad person because
I feel like when you're not exposed to some particular information, that's when you act like that.
Yes, and sometimes I feel like he does not do his research before calling people out. Like he just comes out and talks wow, donkey. Guy. But I just have like issues with how he handles situation, and I would take time to even talk about how people commented on this thing, but I don't think there is a point.
Honestly, you know, you would always have people that support him and people that don't support him, and it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
What we are saying, a lot of people might not resonate with it, and a lot of people resonate with it. So that's how it is.
Yeah.
So I don't think we should.
But generally, on the Bobrisky brand, what do you think?
I'm not going to talk about it.
You have to talk about it. That's the point. You have to talk about it.
I'm indifferent. I'm not going to talk about it. But Mommy of Lagos entertains me. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But that's why I said I'm indifferent.
I mean,
just the entertainment, nothing else.
I get that. I get the entertainment thing. I don't really check him out.
No, I don't. But you know, it sounds TikTok sounds and all of that. You understand? That's the entertainment for me.
Oh, that sound I was training with her. Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Exactly,
I get that.
So
his personal comedic brand is valid, but the rest of it, I would always call him a him. Apologies, please.
That's him. I don't understand. That's who he is.
I cannot call him a she. Even if they jazz me, it will not work. It's not work. Anyway, we've had like really good conversation. We've spoken about the landlords and wicked people that live around people that try to just take advantage of them. That's the people that tapped the woman's generator.
Yeah.
We've spoken about Nigerians and migrating for different reasons that may or may not be valid. I mean, personally, I wanted to marry at some point in my life before God opened my eyes. I wanted to marry a rich white old man and just, be set for life. But I changed my mind.
The old day.
Thank God for salvation. We've spoken about different things and we wrapped it up with Very Dark Man. But for me, most importantly, the conversation about misogyny and how it needs to get better, how women need to speak up more. There's so many elements to this. And hopefully, over time, when we bring this gist, misogyny will come up so that we can really talk about it and hammer it over and over again until it sinks in.
Yeah.
So quickly, before we wrap up, we're going to do like a fan shout out for our HO3 fans. This is going to be on the recent video that we put out. We did a video on this Inachalo River in Kogi State.
Imagine catching a fish or buying a fish and it defies the very laws of nature. I mean, no matter how long you cook it for, no matter the amount of heat, it just never becomes edible. It never gets done.
Obviously, people had very, very interesting comments. So we're going to read some of those comments out. Let's go.
Okay, so somebody said, I'll take 3, please. Why do you have to do that? So said the fish never see pressure pots when them put on top. Okay, sorry. The fish never see pressure pots when them put on top charcoal stove. So say you try roast them. This is where air fryer comes in. Honestly, people need to keep this comments coming because
this is really funny. Oh my God, I beg. But yeah, we appreciate the comments, of course. We always want to hear you people's opinions. So
please continue dropping
keep
comments.
The comments coming. We would respond and obviously would tell you to sponsor us like I just did because sponsorship never too much. Money never too much. Okay, now as we wrap up, we're going to quickly do this. Flashback tweets.
Okay.
This is basically to establish that the internet never forgets. So that's why me, as I've been talking since, and she, as I've been talking since, we've been trying to be careful of what we're saying because we know that you people will come and bring it back.
So please, I beg.
Come for me. I am a war. I am in Bobrisky. Come first. Don't come. Oh,
I'm very
please.
sure that's not what you said, but moving on.
We're going to bring up series of tweets just to remind you guys that the internet never do be forgetting. So you have to be careful of what you say and what you put out and what you send to people that you think these people are gonna keep it for you forever and they're gonna protect you. They're not gonna protect you. No. This tweet is dated as far back as 2011, and who tweeted it? Wizkid. He said, "Happy birthday to a boss and someone I look up to at Don Jazzy. Bless you, sir." 2011, 26th of November, 2011. When I read this tweet, what comes to your mind that just trended recently?
You know that I think that was when he posted about an influencer, something. I can't even remember.
He
But
basically
then
called
the
Don
internet will
Jazzy
never forget.
an influencer. My own is, how would you be someone? I mean, he's a human being, so I mean, human
For
beings
sure.
end up effing up. But how would you be someone that many people hold in high esteem? Because people hold Wizkid in high esteem, right? And you come out and you say that. It basically means that you went from regarding someone, like this tweet obviously said, from regarding someone to disregarding them.
I
And
feel like
that's
it happens a lot of times.
yes, and that's okay. But then you now come out and you put it shamelessly and you insult the person. It goes to show your character. Even if
Me easy. Oh.
no, it goes to show your character. It goes to show like the things that you value as a person. It's very easy for me to respect you today, and maybe
Yeah.
because of one reason or another, I lose that
You fall out of
disrespect.
it, yeah.
Yes, exactly. I lose that respect for you. It's very, very easy. But how would you go from that and to another thing and then come out and put it and then basically talk the person down in front of millions of people that hold you yourself in high esteem?
I feel like I understand where it's coming from, but in that context, maybe it was wrong.
It's
But-
not maybe, oh. He was wrong. I mean, it's simple. It's simple. Fine, it's okay. Your opinion is valid. You
Very
don't
valid.
you don't regard this person again. No problem. We understand that. That's your business. You whatever it is that made you lose
But I
respect
think
for this
after
person.
that, are you sure after that they didn't settle? Or there was...
Even
I think
if
there was no conversation after
there are
that.
certain things you cannot take back.
That's
See,
true.
if you like come out and tell me something.
For sure, 5 years
For you to
afterwards,
have said
this, the tweet will still
it
come out
will
again.
still come up because for you to have said, "Oh, I'm not going to be talking to somebody whose this thing is an influencer," it means that even you by yourself, you're someone that doesn't regard people.
But Wizkid says a lot of things.
It doesn't matter. There's no Wizkid says a lot of things. Is not an excuse for him to continue to say rubbish.
That's true. Affirmative. I agree with you.
Like, because this particular
But
tweet,
his fans will not accept though.
they will not accept, and they will come and drag me now. Drag me all you want. What I said is what I said. And if you do not agree with what I said, it means that you are as crooked as the person that you are licking the ground he walks on. That's one period. I mean, respect him, respect his music, but do not respect his opinion a lot of times. And that's
She went
valid.
all out on Wizkid on this one.
It's something it is what it is. It is what it is. I cannot because I'm afraid of what someone wants to say or think about me. Hold back on what are my personal principles. Again, I have people that I have respected so much, and for one reason or another, I lose the disrespect. But you will not find me calling them out just anyhow or talking down on them. It's okay, exactly. Let people build their opinions. Like, don't just come out and millions of people, they bow down for you. You release music, their body is shaking literally.
When you don't post for a long time and you just post one picture,
that's even what
it starts trending. You see Insta blog and everybody will post it.
Exactly. Everybody is
Wizkid
happy that
posted
you're
this and all of
saying
that.
one thing or another, but then you're now coming out. What are you teaching the people that look up to you? What are you actually teaching them?
You have a point there.
At the end of the day, whether you lose the respect that you have for them, there still needs to be this regard for who they are publicly, for what they represent.
You can have your opinion. You can tell people about it. But coming
out exactly.
Say something like that.
It's complete disregard. I don't care what he now said after. That's not for my business. My own is that particular.
That's the thing. A lot of people, they talk and never think about the aftermath of what they've said.
But yeah, it was high when he was even tweeting that thing.
Let me tell you something. Never use highness or anything as
an excuse, because then what you say when you are is literally what you truly
been
think.
thinking about.
Exactly.
Now, highness is what's highness? Well, you know, who asks you to drink? Nobody's business.
Exactly.
Or you making a particular statement about somebody. Obviously, you had it in your mind.
In your mind.
You just needed something to just boost your confidence for you to say it.
talk.
And you've said it already. Don't blame
Exactly.
the INS, so you blame yourself.
So yeah, there is another one, and this one is Wizkid. People think that I'm doing Wizkid slander here, but no. Again, Funke Pakrumo, my guy, forever. But this is something else that I think that was really, really petty. And that one, this one is not, I'm not trying to shade him here. I just think it was a very petty thing for him to do. And it was funny, but not funny.
Okay.
The video that went viral earlier this year, where they were like, "Oh, Davido was begging girl for blah blah blah," and then somebody begging Wizkid, "Machala Alpha, release music," and he now said, "Beg me," and he quotes that video. I mean, there have been different perspectives. Some people said, "Oh, Wizkid and Davido are cool, so Davido knows that he was using it as a joke." I do not think so. Because then what Davido posted on his story after that was, I feel like totally different.
People have different way of so they have different ways of handling bans. You get, I would have seen the video from a different perspective. I'm like, everybody has been posting that video. You get as response to some things, and the way you're acting about it now, you'd be like, oh, that's a very wrong thing to do. But then I feel like it's just banned.
It's petty. Pettiness.
It's petty. Everybody knows that Wizkid is very petty.
Very petty.
Because that's the same thing he did during Davido's marriage time and all of that, during his wedding and the tweets and all of that. But I don't really care about any of them, honestly. Live your life. Let me live
I think
mine.
one of my favorite
I feel
tweets.
it's just banned.
One of my favorite tweets, again, bans, that I saw at that time, I was like, even though I didn't know whether this is true or not, I kind of agree with this tweet. The person said, because of how the banned from Wizkid, and the person was like, coming from a woman beater, that's a lot. Because there's been allegations of Wizkid beating his baby mama. Exactly. So again, I didn't know whether it's true or not, but I liked that. I mean, if we're going to be petty, I would have preferred if that pettiness came from Davido's end. I mean, Davido replying, "Do you get?" That would have made it more fun, but Davido didn't want to say much, and that's good. It's good that he just did not want to shout about it.
He didn't take it too serious.
But yes, but
maybe he did take it serious that he didn't bring it online.
Online, yeah, because I mean, how many things do you want to even respond to, especially as a public figure? You will reply, tired. You get tired of it. But I just find it really petty. And then Wizkid, after he tweeted that, he kept tweeting other funny things and was laughing.
I think
he was just having a feud.
I think when he's in the mood,
he comes on Twitter and says
lot.
Yeah,
and then he will not disappear.
Exactly. But then it all boils down to one thing for me. In my opinion, I think Wizkid's character is very questionable. I do not know him personally, so I cannot say. It's just my observation from afar. So
I feel like a lot of celebrities, their
characters are very questionable. But it all boils down to one thing. They are human beings. They can be good. They can be bad. They can make mistakes. Exactly. So yeah, it is what it is. No hard feelings for Wizzy, for you people's machala. No hard feelings really. It's what I think is just, they will still come for me. But what I think is what I think. Okay. Good conversation. Good rundown. I think that this is just the beginning of really, really good gist that you guys are going to be getting here. Quality conversation that what is bringing to your table.
What? Not the card game.
Not the card game. Disclaimer. Not the card game. What is happening on Twitter? Yes. Now, it's been a fantastic first episode. We're so excited that you stuck with us, and we've covered a lot of ground here today.
Yeah.
But we still have a lot more things to talk about. We have a long way to go.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning, and there's definitely more to come on what not the card games. So we can't wait to dive into the viral content for next week. So
you guys should stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to stay connected with us on this platform and across all our different social media platforms. This is What's Happening on Twitter with HO3. And remember, Obasanjo's internet never sleeps.